Where are we now?
All right, so we are in what we call the large arena, or this is our R&D testing room for large format speakers. So you can see a lot of things sort of laying around, but we've got a lot of our JBL pendant speakers hanging up there. We have a cinema screen, obviously, because we do a lot of testing for the cinema series, like the 200 series. Would be something we would have tested behind there. You can see some VTX, our A8s and A12s laying around, but pretty much Vertec and the VTX line, they have all those large format speakers at one point. Not only were tested in here, but also training. So we'd have customers and distributors come in to do training on these particular speakers, and this might be a room that we would do that.
And this is basically a sound, it's treated like a sound stage where you've got padded walls, and it's not for crazy people. It's for, all you really have in here is a primary reflection from the ceiling to the walls, and it's pretty dead in here.
Yeah. So this is, this machine would be something that we'd take the speakers off axis and be able to do testing and graphical, sort of more hard data on what's coming out of the speaker. That instrument there is actually, will rotate around the speaker.
Oh, that green light?
Yep, the one with the green light would rotate around the speaker, so the speaker would stay stationary. And our other this goes around it. In the other room, we actually have the instrument in a fixed position, and then the speaker would go around it. Yeah. So extending from the power test room, this is where we do a lot of atmospheric testing. And I like to call this room the zap it, bake it, shake it, pull it room. So there's several things that go on here. One is that obviously there's a lot of speakers that we use outdoors. Sure. So we have to get an understanding of how a particular product will withstand UV rays, right? We might be deployed in an outdoor stadium, and so for 10 years that box might get exposed to a lot of sunshine. So we have the chamber right there for UV testing. So we might put something in there, and for several days to be able to duplicate what it might be for several years.
So it's really bright in there.
Yeah, it's really bright. A lot of radiation going on in there. And then we have ovens. So we might take particular parts within the speaker and bake it at very high temperatures, or even a speaker in itself. You think about a speaker being in a climate like Dubai, the Middle East. That's
Phoenix.
Yeah, Phoenix, right? A lot of dry air, a lot of heat. So how does that withstand that kind of temperature?
Fort Lauderdale.
Or Fort Lauderdale. Yeah, exactly. Now you got humidity, right? And then we have a shake plate over there. And if you've been through an earthquake, they last about a minute and a half.
We hope,
right? Not too bad. So we're not really looking at, what happens during earthquakes, but what if you have a couple $100,000 worth of tour audio on the back of a semi-truck trailer, and it loses its suspension? So for 1,500 miles going from city to city, those speakers getting shaken up pretty bad. So when the speakers come off the truck, they have to be reliable. They have to be tested to know that when they fly those speakers that they're going to turn on. And over here is probably what I think is probably one of the most important tests in the building. And that is we have the VLA speakers right there. So that's something that we might deploy in a football stadium. Very, very heavy speakers. And when you've got an array of like 8, you're putting up a lot of weight, hundreds, if not thousands of pounds above people's heads. So we have to be sure that the bracketing system works not only from speaker to speaker, but as it's being hung, that the amount of weight that these brackets can handle can far surpass anything that would be deployed reasonably deployed in a stadium. So that's where we would pull these things apart.
How much does one of those weigh?
I don't know how much they weigh. I'm gonna guess maybe anywhere from probably about 150 to maybe 200 pounds. Very, very heavy speakers. So this is a very important part of our test. But this room really goes to the JBL reliability. And we're one of, if not the only company that not only does our engineering, our R&D, our procurement, our testing from beginning to end is all contained within contained within the company.
Even if before your step.